Hello, and welcome back to the Stoic Station channel. Silence. It's not just the absence of words, it's power. Right now, your silence is doing something they never expected. It's forcing them to face themselves. When you stop explaining, stop justifying, stop giving away your energy, something shifts. You leave behind a void, a space that was once filled with your attention, your concern, your reassurance. At first, they think they're in control. They believe they can walk away without consequences. But they're wrong, because the one who cares less always has the advantage. And when you withdraw your emotions, their ego takes the first hit. They'll pretend nothing happened, act like they're fine, maybe even boast about how great their life is. But deep down, your silence is eating away at them. They expected a reaction. They wanted you to fight for them, to prove they still matter. But when you do nothing, that speaks louder than any words. Some people only appreciate something once it's gone. They assumed you'd always be there because you used to care. But when you walk away, when you refuse to play their game, that's when they realize where the real power lies. Attention is a form of currency. When you stop giving yours away, they feel it. They try to fill the void with distractions, with noise. But silence has a way of creeping in. Late at night, in empty mornings, in unexpected reminders. And that's when the real struggle begins. Because they don't just miss you, they miss the control they once had. And when that disappears, their ego crumbles. So, why is your silence so powerful? Why does it haunt them? And most importantly, how can you use this moment to reclaim your power, once and for all? Before we dive in, if you want to spread the wisdom of Stoicism, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And if you enjoy this content, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 2 so I can keep improving for you. All right, let's get started. 1. Your departure was something they never expected. They never thought you would leave. When someone ignores you, disrespects you, or even mistreats you, it's not because they don't care. It's because they believe they can do it without consequences. They think that no matter how many times they hurt you, no matter how much they neglect you, you'll always be there. They assume you'll be the one to reach out first, that eventually you won't be able to resist, that you'll come back, looking for an explanation, for closure, for another chance. Because that's what happened before. Maybe in the past you fought for their attention. Maybe you forgave too easily. Maybe you kept giving them chances because you believed they could change. But this time is different, because this time, you left. And what scares them the most? It's not that you walked away, it's how you walked away. You didn't beg. You didn't explain. You didn't wait for them to realize how much they hurt you. You simply disappeared. At first, they act relieved, even telling themselves, "Finally, I'm free." They post pictures, brag about their life, make it seem like they're having the time of their lives. But over time, something shifts. They start checking their phone more often. They scroll through old messages, rereading conversations they once ignored. They wonder why you haven't reached out. And here's the interesting part. The more they try to convince themselves they don't care, the more they realize they actually do. Because the truth is this: people expect a reaction. They expect anger. They expect tears. They expect a confrontation. But what they don't expect, indifference. And indifference, that's a dagger straight to their pride. Indifference means you've moved on. Indifference means they've lost control. And nothing wounds the ego more than realizing you're no longer important. This is the moment their confidence starts to crack. Because now they're left with a painful question. Was I really as important to them as I thought? Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And that's exactly what you've done. You've taken back control. You no longer let them dictate your emotions, and while they're stuck in confusion, you're moving forward, stronger than ever. And that is the real victory. If you agree, comment below. I am not an option. I am the loss they never saw coming. 2. The ego thrives on control, and you took that power away. Your silence has done something they never thought possible. It has stripped away their control, and their ego, it can't survive without it. They wanted to control your emotions, control your reactions, control how the story ends. Because as long as they could still affect you, still pull you back, they believed they mattered. And for a long time, they did. They knew exactly how to trigger a reaction. They played mind games, ignoring your messages for days, only to send a vague reply later just to see if you'd still respond. They kept you in a cycle of hot and cold, giving just enough attention to keep you from leaving, but never enough to truly value you. But now, everything is different. Now, you are unpredictable. Now, they have no idea what you're thinking, and nothing is scarier to them than uncertainty. They expect you to reach out. They expect you to fight for them. They expect you to react, because that's what always happened before. But this time, you answer with silence. And that silence, it's deafening. At first, they brush it off. They're just playing hard to get. They're trying to make me miss them. But as the days turn into weeks, and your silence remains unchanged, their own mind starts turning against them. They start searching for answers. They check your social media, hoping for any clue that you still care. They ask mutual friends about you, hoping to hear that you're struggling, that you haven't truly moved on. They replay old conversations in their head, wondering if they missed something. And then, they come face to face with the truth they've been avoiding. They've lost control. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And right now, their imagination is torturing them. They imagine who you're with. They wonder if you still think about them. They obsess over what you might be doing. But deep down, they know one thing for certain. You're gone. And worse, you reclaimed your power without saying a single word. And that is what truly drives them insane. Now I want you to affirm this in the comments. I have broken free from their control. 3. Silence forces them to face themselves. Many people aren't just afraid of losing you. They're afraid of losing the version of themselves that existed when you were around. Because when you were there, you made them feel important. You gave them support, validation, and love, sometimes more than they ever deserved. You saw the best in them, even when they showed you their worst. You were patient when they were unpredictable. You forgave when they never apologized. You gave warmth, even when they were cold to you. And now that you're gone, all they have left is themselves. The truth is, some people don't know how to give love. They only know how to take it. As long as you were there, pouring your energy into them, they never had to ask, "Do I truly deserve this?" Because they were used to you always trying, always giving, always showing up. But then, you went silent, and suddenly, they were forced to look in the mirror. No more you to lift them up when they felt insecure. No more you to reassure them when they needed attention. No more thoughtful messages. No more check-ins to see if they were okay. No more compliments, hugs, or deep conversations to pull them out of their emptiness. At first, They try to ignore it. They distract themselves with shallow connections. They post pictures. They laugh with friends. They act like they're having the time of their life. But deep down, nothing feels the same anymore. Because what they truly crave isn't a new relationship. It isn't a quick distraction. It's the feeling of being cared for, the way you cared for them. And here's the harsh truth. They don't know how to fill that void. Because you were the one who made them feel special. You were the one who lifted them up when they felt small. And now, without your energy, they feel empty. That's why silence is so powerful. It doesn't just make them miss you, it forces them to confront themselves. And the truth is, they don't like what they see. Without your love to mask their insecurities, without your presence to make them feel important, they realize they have nothing left but themselves. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." And right now, they want what they no longer have. They want your energy. They want your kindness. They want your love. They want the safety and confidence they felt when you were around. But here's the painful reality. That version of them, the one that felt whole, confident, worthy, only existed because of you. And that is why they're struggling. Because now, they have to stand on their own, and they don't know how. If you agree, comment below. I am the light they never appreciated. For the more they try to forget you, the more they remember you. Here's the ultimate irony. The harder they try to erase you from their mind, the stronger your presence becomes. That's just how the human brain works. When we actively try not to think about something, it actually takes up more space in our thoughts. It's called the white bear effect. If I tell you right now, don't think about a white bear, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Exactly, a white bear. And that's exactly what's happening to them. They tell themselves, I don't care anymore. They try to convince themselves, I've already moved on. But their own mind fights back. It throws memories of you right in their face. Suddenly, the smallest things become haunting reminders. A song you both listened to, it now carries a weight they never expected. A restaurant you visited together? They sit there, remembering how you laughed at their stories. A phrase you used to say, it shows up in a movie they're watching, stopping them in their tracks. And for just a moment, it's like you're right there beside them again. At first, they try to ignore it. They go out more. They surround themselves with new people. They rush into another relationship, believing that someone new can replace what they lost. But it doesn't work, because real connections aren't easily replaced. No one laughs the way you did. No one understands them the way you did. No one looks at them the way you once did. And that's when they realize losing you wasn't just losing a relationship. It was losing a part of their life, a part they can't recreate. Not hearing from you, it's not just about being ignored. It's about being trapped in a psychological loop they can't escape. Every time they pick up their phone but stop themselves from texting you, they think of you. Every time they wonder if you still miss them, they think of you. Every time they see someone with a smile like yours, a walk like yours, an energy like yours, they compare. And at night, when everything goes quiet, you are the only thought left lingering. This question mark, this is when the real torture begins. They tell themselves they don't need you. They try to convince themselves they're fine. But now, their own mind is proving them wrong, because you are unforgettable. And the more they try to push you away, the universe keeps reminding them exactly what they lost. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And right now, every thought they have is about you. If you agree, comment below. I am unforgettable, and they feel it. 5. Their pride stops them from reaching out, and it's destroying them inside. The only thing standing between them and sending you a message, it's not love, it's not logic, it's not even anger, it's pride. They don't want to admit they miss you. They don't want to be the first to break. They don't want you to know that you've affected them. So instead of facing their emotions, they suffer in silence. They wait. They watch. They replay memories of you like an old recording. They feel the weight of your absence, but they refuse to acknowledge it. They tell themselves, I don't need to text first. I don't care. But then, days pass, then weeks, then months, and suddenly, they realize they've lost control. That feeling? It turns into regret. They want to text you. They want to reach out, but their ego won't let them. So they make excuses. Maybe they're waiting for me to text first. Maybe they still miss me, but they're just acting cold. I'm sure they still think about me. But then, a far scarier thought appears. What if they've actually moved on? What if they're not waiting for me anymore? What if they don't even think about me at all? And that's when the panic sets in. Their ego once told them you would chase, that you would break first, but you didn't. You stayed silent, and now they're starting to realize they bet on the wrong outcome. They thought pride made them strong, but in the end, it only left them alone. They think they're winning by not reaching out, but the truth is, they're only prolonging their own suffering. Because one day, they'll see you smiling with someone new. They'll scroll through your profile and realize you've moved on. They'll wake up and realize they waited too long. And when that day comes, pride won't be their shield anymore. It will be their prison. Seneca once said, "The brave person is the free person." And right now, you are free. You walked away. You broke the cycle. You refused to let your emotions be controlled by someone who never appreciated you. But them? They're still stuck in their own ego. They're still waiting. They're still battling with their pride. And nothing is more painful than realizing you had a chance to fix something, but you let pride get in the way. And the final blow? You don't care anymore. And that is why your silence is destroying them. Not just because they miss you, not just because they want to hear from you, but because they're slowly realizing that you waited, but then you stopped checking, you stopped caring, and now it's too late. If you agree, comment below. Their pride is their problem, not mine. 6. You've grown beyond them, and they know it. The most painful truth for them: you are no longer the person they left behind. They expected you to wait. They expected you to suffer. They expected you to be stuck in the past. They thought time would pass, but you would stay the same. Still longing, still hurting, still hoping for another chance. But instead, you grew stronger. You healed. You evolved. You became someone even they no longer recognize. And that hurts them more than they'll ever admit. Because when someone walks away, they assume they've left you behind. They believe you'll remain frozen in the version of yourself they once knew. That if they ever come back, everything will still be the same. The same love, the same patience, the same version of you, waiting with open arms. But there's one thing they never considered. Growth changes everything. The way you once looked at them, different. The way you once craved them, that feeling is gone. The way you once believed their words, you've learned your lesson. And that is what truly scares them. It's not just your silence. It's not just the distance. It's the fact that they've lost access to who you used to be. At first, they told themselves they didn't care. They even felt relieved, thinking, "Good, now I can move on." But then something changed. Maybe they saw something. Maybe it was the shift in your energy. Maybe it was the way you carry yourself now. Maybe it was the way you're no longer affected by them. And suddenly, they don't feel so confident anymore. Because deep down, they know the version of you who tolerated their games no longer exists. And that is the real loss. Most people won't admit this. The hardest part of a breakup, it's not the separation itself. It's realizing that one person grew and the other didn't. And right now, they know they've been standing still. They haven't changed. They haven't evolved the way you have. And they see it in your energy, in your confidence, in the way you no longer react to them. And that realization, it's eating them alive. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who caused you harm." And that's exactly what you've done. You didn't beg, you didn't chase, you didn't stay stuck in the pain, you transformed. And now, they know there's no way back. Your silence? It's not just the absence of words, it's the presence of power. You don't need to explain. You don't need to prove your worth. You just need to walk away and let your absence speak for itself. From my perspective, silence isn't about playing a power game. It's a sign of growth. When you walk away from a relationship, the goal isn't to make the other person regret losing you. It's not to cause them pain. The real goal, to reclaim yourself, to become a stronger version of you, one who is no longer tied to someone else's emotions. Those who once controlled you, who assumed you would always be there, they will feel the emptiness of your silence, but not because they truly loved you, because they were used to having you within reach. But here's the truth. Real growth isn't about waiting for them to see your worth. It's about realizing you no longer need their validation. Indifference is power, not to hurt someone, but to free yourself when you stop waiting, when you stop hoping, when you stop caring about their reaction. That's when you are truly free, because there is no victory in their regret. The real victory? It's in your transformation. In the end, you were never just an option. You were the loss they never saw coming. They got used to your patience. They got used to you always sending the first message. They got used to your forgiveness, given without hesitation. But this time, you walked away, silently, decisively, without leaving them any chance to manipulate you again. At first, they didn't care. Maybe they even thought they had won. But then, time passed, and your silence started stirring doubts inside them. They scroll through old messages. They check your social media. They wonder why you haven't reached out. And then they realize you didn't just walk away. You took back your power. Their ego once fed on controlling your emotions. They used to know exactly how to get a reaction from you. But now, they hold no power over you anymore. No more angry responses, no more sadness, no more attention. They are left alone with themselves, forced to face the truth, that you are no longer the person they once knew, and the harder they try to forget you, the more your presence lingers in their mind. The white bear effect makes it impossible for them to stop thinking about you. They may surround themselves with distractions, but no one can replace you, because you aren't someone they can just move on from. You are someone they will forever regret losing, but they won't text. Their pride won't let them, so they wait, hoping you will come back. But with each passing day, they realize you have grown beyond them, and they will never catch up. You didn't seek revenge. You simply stopped caring. And that is the most powerful move you could ever make. If this video resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to Stoic Station, turn on notifications so you never miss future content, and always remember, you are the lesson they never saw coming. Keep moving forward. No need to prove anything. Just become the strongest version of yourself.